Hey everyone, we are Group 6 and we decided to do our project on the movie The Devil Wears Prada. Contributors on this project are Lyric Coker, Thomas Weathers, Max Farmer, Ryan Hutchinson, Matthew Hurd, and Wells Armstrong. And here's the clip from the film we're going to play for y'all.
The plot of the film revolves around Andy, played by Anne Hathaway, an aspiring journalist landing a job as the assistant to Miranda Priestley, played by Meryl Streep, the editor-in-chief of Runway magazine. Though she has no interest in fashion, Andy ends up taking this job, hoping it will lead to better opportunities in the future. As she struggles under Miranda's impossible demands, but with the help of Stanley Tucci, Nigel, Runway's creative director, Andy transforms her work ethic to impress Miranda, but this leads to conflict in her personal life. When Andy is given the chance to replace Emily at Paris Fashion Week, she accepts but later regrets it. In Paris, she witnesses Miranda's ruthless tactics to protect her position, sacrificing Nigel's promotion in the process. Realizing she is becoming someone she doesn't want to be, Andy quits and returns to a more balanced life, securing a job at a newspaper. As she moves forward in her career, she recognizes how the experience at Runway shaped her and proves she can thrive without compromising her values.
As we saw in the clip, there are many indicators of HR issues with Runway Magazine and the character of Miranda. There are issues that impact company culture, such as creating a hostile work environment, like we saw in the clip, the employees running around to make everything perfect, and the girl even getting out of the elevator when Miranda got in. Those issues, along with overworking the employees, not giving them clear expectations for their roles, or giving them extra tasks that aren't really in their regular job description. And finally, having the employees endure verbal abuse at work. While it's not shown in the traditional yelling and cursing in the clip, Miranda does degrade her employees and all their hard work. That kind of environment can lead to high rates of employee turnover, burnout, and overall a negative company image. This story is based on the famous fashion editor for Vogue, Anna Wintour, and while she's been praised for her creations, she does have a reputation for being very unpleasant to work for. Now, this type of example is usually in a working condition that maybe is stereotyped towards the fashion industry or arts because that industry has a reputation for being more flexible on business formality. But other examples in other industries would be Steve Jobs, who is known to have a very erratic workplace behavior and created a reputation as someone who could fly off the handle. Jeff Bezos, because he valued profit over health and safety of his employees. And in a different kind of example, Disney is a company that has a positive reputation for their customer service, but they have a reputation for mistreating their employees, which it can't really be pointed back to one person individually, but it's probably a result of a long lasting harmful company culture. The Devil Wears Prada could be seen as an exaggeration of a more common HR issue in the workplace. And in the next slide, we'll give our thoughts on some ways that they could fix this issue.
So we came up with four possible solutions to the human resources issue in the movie clip. The first of which is going to be to improve the leadership communication. Obviously, as y'all saw, chaos ensued once the office found out that Miranda was showing up earlier than expected. And those expectations that she had were unclear. So HR should implement a structured communication channel, such as a shared digital dashboard to outline the priorities and expectations in advance so the employees know what to expect when they come into work for the day. The second solution we came up with was to implement clear job roles. When Miranda came into the office, it seems like there's a mass scramble of employees that don't really know what to do, just that they should be doing something. So a job description and responsibility, it should be clear so that the employees aren't forced to panic in a pressure situation such as this. The third solution that we came up with was to encourage a work-life balance. This high stress atmosphere at the office is unsustainable, meaning that the human resources department should offer wellness initiatives such as a mental health resource, stress management workshops, and a more balanced workload distribution. If human resources will due to these changes, they will have a reduced burnout in employees and a lower turnover rate. And the fourth solution that we came up with was to establish an onboarding process. This established onboarding process will align new employees with the company's goals and culture and kind of give them a peek behind the curtain as to if they really want to move forward in working for this company or not. The company could also provide new employees with a point person that ensures a smooth transition as well as reducing the turnover. Now I'm going to turn it over to Max to tell you what solution we picked and why we picked it.
Thank you, Ryan. So ultimately, we settled up with solution 2 being the best of the solutions that we proposed, and that's simply to implement clear job roles. So obviously, when Miranda is on her way to the office in the short clip that we showed, and there's several instances of this throughout the film, but everyone is in a scramble to try and do something to please her or to get out of the way, or to tidy up their workspace, just a million different things going on to try and appease the leader. And it creates a really toxic environment, because nobody knows exactly what's expected and they're all trying, but there's some disconnect there. So if I could get the next slide, please go further into the why. And so just after consideration, we think that if there was an implementation of clear job responsibilities, it would really cut down on wasted time and just frankly disappointment for both employee and employer. And that probably applies to a lot of the instances that Lyric kind of alluded to. If expectations are set and people know what is expected and they're stuck to, and everybody's going to abide by those things, that can really alleviate a lot of issues. But ultimately, as most people can attest to through any experiences in life, when you have expectations that don't match up with the intentions of those around you or that you're working with, you can definitely encounter some friction. And Andy throughout the film is a perfect depiction of this, because she has an abundantly hard time adapting to what Miranda expects from her employees, as do other employees in the film. And it really turns into a lot of the employees are relying on one another, but it also plants a seed of toxicity throughout. So ultimately, if clear guidelines were set and there was just a set expectation of this is what she wants when she wants it, it would have led to a more streamlined process and a much less stressful work environment for all of the employees at Runway. It could easily be alleviated so long as there were clear job descriptions. And I'm going to turn it back over to Wells for our outro. Thank you, Wells.
Yep. Thank you guys so much for listening. And if you have any questions, please go ahead and ask. Thank you.